The special three-part series that finds out exactly why wrestling is so popular. And he even attempts to answer the age-old question, is it fake?
They called themselves Mr. Nitro and Hulk Hogan Jr. They were my old neighbors, and my wife told me many, many times to be careful wrestling them in the backyard when I was known as Pizza Man, champion wrestler of Ripley Road. My neighbors reminded me of the midget wrestlers so popular in the 1950s. The names they had chosen reminded me of a simpler time, wrestling in the 60s.
It's the Sheik against Bobo Brazil.
Buddy Rogers and Killer Kowalski. There's a shot of Buddy Rogers.
Today's wrestlers are bigger, stronger, with more colorful names, like Psycho Mike, who is announced as being from Hell's Kitchen, New York, but he's really Michael Brown from Cleveland's South Side.
It's more conditioning than anything. You have to be conditioned to take those kind of bumps night after night. Sometimes if you land wrong, there's no amount of conditioning that can help you. You're hurt.
Hurt is what a lot of the fans want to see. They want to see the other guy smashed and bashed, opened up and closed down. Who are the people attending these matches? Well, tonight, anywhere from 25 to 30% of this audience is made up of youngsters, kids from 3 to 4 years old all the way up to their late teens. For kids, just what is the attraction? How aware are they of what is going on in the ring?
Well, they don't really get hurt that much, like they act like it, but it's cool.
Whatever it is big, big business, entertainment.
Anybody that doesn't think all sports come under the heading of entertainment, they're sadly mistaken, because that's all they are.
Tomorrow, just how big a business is pro wrestling. Alan DePietro, Eyewitness News.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to try? No, maybe not. Well,
I can think of other ways that are...
They eat as well, don't they? Well, the big names can really afford to eat whatever they want. As Alan DePietro tells us in part 2 of Wrestle Maniacs, they make a lot more money than just what they carry out of the ring.
The World Wrestling Federation. It's the big leagues of wrestling. Its #1 attraction is Hulk Hogan.
I wouldn't be afraid to venture that Hogan makes in the millions for the year.
It's a big business for the World Wrestling Federation, but for a wrestler like Hulk Hogan, it's a bonanza. He gets more than $1 million a year from the sale of T-shirts, games, dolls, whatever. Whatever includes $6 posters, wristbands that also sell for $6. And on a Saturday night at the Coliseum, fans were busy buying the newest item for sale at wrestling shows, trading cards.
Yeah, they just started those. About 2 months ago.
How they been selling?
Good, because the kids trade between themselves and just like baseball cards.
The 6,000 or so in attendance for the show paid $8, $10, $13 a ticket. But pro wrestling these days is making much of its money on television.
Actually, the fan attendance now has sort of dropped off because there's so much on television. It gets increasingly more difficult to get a wrestling fan to go out and pay $10 for a wrestling ticket.
But while the big league is raking it in, there are still dozens of smaller outfits like the Great Lakes Wrestling Association struggling to make a profit. And guys like Psycho Mike, wrestling 3 to 5 times a week, struggling to make a living.
I get anywhere between $125 to $250 a night, plus air and accommodations.
Tomorrow, we'll take a look at the most often asked question about professional wrestling. Is it fake? Alan DePietro, Eyewitness News.
Just don't ask Psycho Mike that question.
Be careful.
He might bop you.
Be careful.
On the